around mile 50, I lost all brakes. I continued to limp the bike along until around mile 72, where I missed the cutoff time before re entering the state forest, resulting in a DNF. The Ozark Trail M2 Ridge is not a competitive race bike off the shelf. I received no sponsorships from my race efforts. Some people may say, of course you didn't finish the Mohican 100. You're on a Walmart bike. To those people, I would say, it still would have been pretty cool if I did finish. This whole ordeal has reminded me of a quote from Teddy Roosevelt. To paraphrase, it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. If you're still here, hit that like and subscribe button. Smash the bell notification. It really helps the algorithm and ensures I can keep bringing the content you guys know and love. Let me start off with what went well on the race, the training plan. I feel the ChatGPT training plan worked very well, and I felt well prepared for the race. Even at the end of the race, I still felt that I had gas left in the tank and could have kept going if the bike's mechanical limits did not prevent me from doing so. Fueling. I fueled my race on Snickers king size bars and honey packets. I never crashed and felt I had good, consistent fuel throughout the race. This is the same fuel I trained with and got good results. Like I mentioned in previous videos, you need to find what works for your body and what you can stomach during a race. Drinking water and some of the Hammer Nutrition Heed that was available at the aid stations. This stuff is good too, and I'm familiar with Hammer Nutrition from ultra running events. They make pretty good stuff. Onto the bike, the Ozark Trail M2 Ridge. The night before the race, we had huge thunderstorms roll through, turning everything into a muddy mess. There were trees down all over the place. It was challenging conditions for any bike and was going to push any bike to the limits. After the race, I had to pressure wash the bike to be able to fully assess the damage. As we all know at this point, the mechanical disc brakes were not up to the task. I had to keep adjusting through the race, but the cables and the barrel adjustments until what was remaining of the brake pads crumbled away in my hands. They need to be replaced with some hydraulic disc brakes, similar to Shimano MT200, and I ordered some immediately after the race. Stock tires, I'm going to upgrade to something more aggressive, probably one of the Maxxis offerings that I've seen. The tires were okay, except for in the deep mud, which there was plenty of. Combination of the rear fishtailing and the brakes not working on steep descents increased the pucker factor greatly and really forced me to slow down throughout the race. The SR Suntour XCT 30 fork. It wasn't great, but it worked okay until I really started to push the pace on rough descents. It was manageable, but I could tell the fork was really trying to punish me when I got going too fast. But it was predictable enough and usable. It didn't try to pogo me off the bike when I bottomed it out. I just kept my arms somewhat loose and used my legs to serve as suspension as well. It held together and is pretty durable. It wouldn't have prevented me from finishing the race, and I still firmly believe if I had functioning brakes throughout the race, I would have been able to finish. Moving on to the dropper post. This would have been nice to have and allow me to keep a good pace going. I tried to make do with where the seat was, only losing a little bit of time when hopping off with the quick release. However, I ended up trying to put my seat in kind of a middle ground for parts of the race where I could maneuver and still get a decent pedal stroke, but it's not ideal or most efficient, so I'm going to be adding a dropper post. The drivetrain. The stock setup didn't drop the chain once. The clutch derailleur of the M2 really did its job, despite the torture it was put through throughout the race. Gearing is pretty good for climbing and felt sufficient. It's not really a concern outside of racing, but something I noticed on the road and gravel portions. On the steep descents, trying to make fast time on the roads, I would run out of gearing, then just kind of tried to tuck in and minimize air drag. While bikes running a 1x12 drivetrain setup had more gearing and could continue to pull ahead of me in those high speed situations. I've not decided what I'm going to do with this, and it is a minor complaint considering the rest of the bike. It's probably the last thing I will address if I do. So there it is. That's my full recap of racing the Mohican 100. I'm looking forward to racing it again next year, but it will not be on a bone stock Ozark Trail M2. Over the next several weeks, I'm going to be doing a series of upgrade videos fixing these shortcomings identified throughout the race. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys out on the trail.